Hello people, Jeff the King here and welcome to my Final Fantasy XIII-2 demo review. And firstly I'd like to say this is audio only, so feel free to do anything else while listening to this, that's fine. And secondly I'd like to say I did not enjoy Final Fantasy XIII as a game as a whole. There was a few features in it that I did like, which we'll get onto in a bit, but as a whole game I did not enjoy it whatsoever. But I did really enjoy the XIII-2 demo, so that is a very good strong point that the game has it for itself so far. So the first thing we'll get on to is the things that the game has that were in 13 already. Now the leveling up system of whatever name it is that I can't really pronounce is still present, but with a few tweaks to it. So basically you can go through your leveling up tree as you would in 13, but as you go through, each tree is merged into one, and each point you have to pick which class, Ravager, Commando or Medic, etc., you want to put that point in. And certain points do have two, like, leveling up perks, would say, or it would be actual abilities such as Ashuna or Kiraga or Frost Strike or whatever, are on the same point. So if you don't actually pick the one that you would most advantageous to the character you are trying to build, then you pretty much have buggered it. You have to think very hard about what you want to do and how you want to level up your character so that you can put the points in where you need to put the points in. Certain ones are in separate places, so that's okay. You can, at a certain degree, have your characters multitask, which is what is necessary with the paradigm shift feature, but you still have to be very narrow in the few choices that you pick for your character. You don't want to be spreading them out too wide. The second thing that's still in from 13 is the paradigm shift feature. Now, this is basically being able to pick the class for each character, put them together in like a class combination, and then switch between them freely within the battle. Now, this is a very good battle system. I really enjoyed that. That was one feature of 13 I loved, how the battle system flowed and how it worked. Now, it's back again, but with a few tweaks to it again. They've changed quite a few bits in this. The major tweak is the capturing of creatures. You can actually go out, and if you get a high enough rating in your battle, you'll get a crystallized form of what that creature is. And crystallized forms of these creatures, you can actually use them in a battle. You can put them in positions, and you can have up to 3 different slots for 3 different monsters, and you can bring these monsters out with you in battle, and each one has it only has a solid class, but it does have a class that coincides with the classes that you use. For instance, one of the first creatures I got on the demo was Kitesurf, which is a medic role, and this creature will come out with you in battle and fight along with you, whereas Kitesurf actually just sits around and cures you, but his cure ability is a slightly more advanced than your cure ability, so he is a very good medic and offers a lot of new ways to work around these creatures. You can also level up the creatures as you would level up yourself. These require specific items, but these are very easy to come by and very easy to obtain, and you can even buy them if you really, really want to, which I did on one occasion right before the boss fight at the end. So the creatures can actually level up, and you can have one creature consume another one, which makes the secondary one that gets consumed completely vanish, but the first one will gain effects and abilities from the one that it consumes, which means you can mix and match the abilities and effects and have your creature built how you want it to be, and be able to completely have control over how this creature will end out, and be able to obviously level it up along with that and have it basically completely different to what the next person's version of that creature will be, which is a very, very in-depth process and very well thought through, and I loved it. That creature customization that it had is what hooked me in the first place and what made me keep playing the demo and eventually make me want to actually purchase the game. Sarah from the first Final Fantasy XIII is back, but she has an actual major role rather than a character people are striving to save. She is pretty much one of the main characters as far as the demo shows, with the other one being Noelle, pronounced in Japan, or just Noel for us. And basically, you're back to more how you'd expect Final Fantasy main characters to be. That kind of vague for me to say, but if you actually play the demo, you get a sense that this Noel guy is the main character, and he is going to try and help people and save people, whereas Lightning was, putting it simply, quite dull, quite bitchy, if I want to be putting it out there. She wasn't a very good main character. She was all depressive, thought about nothing but Sarah, and it's like, that's not how a main character should be. You really thought of Snow more as what the main character should be, and he is back again with a darker look and no bandana feet covering his hair, but we don't really get to play with him in the demo. You don't actually get to see this in the demo, but we have been promised that the game will actually be less linear. You'll be able to revisit places you've been before. Obviously, in the demo, you only get one area to explore, so you can't really say for sure that they've done that, but hopefully they will, because that's the major downfall of the original 13, that the game was so linear it didn't feel like a Final Fantasy game whatsoever. One minor thing that bugs me still, and I don't know why they've done this, is for some reason they still don't have the victory tune in. They didn't have it in Final Fantasy 13 either, and I want to know why they haven't done that. Is it something to do with copyright? Is it the fact that not the same people are working on it? I want to know why it's not there, because that is, in my opinion, a major part of Final Fantasy. It makes it feel like a Final Fantasy game, but it's not there, and I want it to be there, but I can't really say it's a bad game just because of that. It's not exactly an acceptable reason just because that one little tune isn't in there. The boss fight was implemented well. You fight Atlas twice, once where you can only see his arm, and the second time you can see all of him. You also get the choice of doing two different things. You can fight him head on, or you can go to a device that is nearby and stop him from moving as fast and lower his health a lot. And I chose the latter one because obviously that makes more sense than fighting some big guy that's hard as nails head on. And even when I fought him with a tiny fraction of his health, it took me a while and it took me a good degree of attempts to actually get through him, which is another good thing about the Final Fantasy 13 and this sequel obviously, is that the fights are actually difficult. In an old Final Fantasy you'd be able to just power level for a while and then just cream the rest of the game. It's pretty darn simple, but on this it actually makes every single fight difficult. Even normal enemies can actually kill you in this game, which is one thing I heavily praised about the original Final Fantasy 13. That and its leveling up system were its major strong points. I love them. But when you actually go and fight Atlas, the game has suffered from the awful, unknown reason why new games need this terrible feature of QuickTime events. It's got QuickTime events, and I hate QuickTime events. Number one, my reaction times are shoddy, so they kind of get me a bit on edge, and I fail them quite a lot. I played the game Bayonetta, and if you failed a QuickTime event on there, you died, and that went onto your record of dying how many times in this level, which kind of ruined your score quite a lot. So that I do not like. A game should not have QuickTime events. An RPG, for instance, should definitely not have QuickTime events. That is not the kind of game that requires them to be in. Maybe in a hack and slash, maybe you can understand it, but you don't need QuickTime events in an RPG. Again, on the plus side though, the QuickTime events don't actually affect you that much. If you fail a QuickTime event, you can carry on. You'll not be winning as easy as what you would have been, but you can still carry on and succeed, and it won't be an automatic death, so that's pretty good. From the videos I've seen on the demo, not from actually the demo gameplay itself, you can actually get creatures including the chocobo and the cactuar fighting alongside you, which is, in my opinion, amazing. Two old character favourites of mine, and I'm guessing of many of the fans, are back, which is a very good improvement. So that's pretty much all we have to say about the Final Fantasy 13-2 demo. If I've missed anything else, please comment below and let me know that I've missed it out, and I'll do my best to reply to you. Well, I won't do my best. I will 100% reply to your comments about the things that I have missed out and explain things to you if you require me to do so, or if you want me to do so, or whatever. So please leave a like, please comment on anything you want, whether if I've missed something out or if you just want to say anything, that's fine. Criticisms are wanted as well, as this is my first review ever and my first attempt, and hopefully I haven't done too bad. So if you haven't already, please subscribe too. And this is Jeff the King signing out.